crash. Its low voltage worked. Hazard lights on. E-call activated. But the operator couldn't hear.
你好，长城汽车紧急救援专线，请问有什么可以帮您？
没事，我误触发了。
收到车辆报警了，现场是遇到紧急情况了吗？
没有，我是误触发了。
请问您的现场电话是多少？我可以协助呼叫救护车和交警。
没事，不用叫，没问题。
抱歉，无法收到您的回应，稍后给您回拨，请随接。
Rescue and extrication rating, great. The crumple zone didn't align with the truck's rear guard. The energy absorption was poor. In the crash, the A pillar was cut by the truck and collapsed. The weak C pillar caused the B pillar to lose stability. A, B, and C pillars all ripped. Luckily, the strong D pillar held up. Structure rating poor. Due to the collapsed compartment, the shotgun passenger was directly hit by the truck. Head and neck protection, poor. The collapsed structure plus the late deployed airbag subjected the driver to lethal injury. He wouldn't make it. Poor. In this test, its overall rating, poor. 40 miles per hour, 40% frontal offset crash against a deformable barrier. Simulates a crash against other vehicles. This is the IIHS Moderate Overlap Frontal Crash Evaluation, a standard in NCAP assessments. The vehicle is set to the maximum load. Front, 1 dummy. Second row, 2 dummies. If there is third row, 2 dummies. Low voltage function. Hazard lights on. E-call activated.
长城汽车上交专启，有什么可以帮您？
不小心蹭了一下车，没事儿。
有没有发生事故呢？
我稍微蹭了一下车，没什么大事儿。
好的，需要帮您报999吗？
不用，谢谢。
Doors unlocked and could open. It costs little effort to open. Rescue and extrication rating, great. No plastic hinge or bending on D8 pillar. Hinge pillar, firewall, rocker panel saw no deformation. The compartment was protected well by the door ring. Its compartment strength is high. Structure rating, great. The driver only had minor injury. But neck, chest, and leg injuries are severe, acceptable. Front restraint system rating, acceptable. The rear left dummy suffered severe neck and leg injuries. Moderate. The rear right one suffered serious chest compression, facing a risk of rib fractures. Moderate. The rear restraint system is rated as moderate. In this crash test, all 3 occupants may survive. In the test, its overall rating, acceptable. 50 miles per hour, 70% rear end crash by a 1 point per tons test vehicle. Simulates a secondary high-speed rear ending. The dummy layout and weight distribution remained unchanged. According to the U.S. Federal Regulations 301 and 305, major focuses are fuel and battery leakage, thermal runaway, and structural integrity. During the rear-end crash, no fuel leakage occurred. Fuel system integrity, great. But the structure is weak, especially the rear longitudinal beam. The rear space was compromised. The rear seat backrest almost fails. That narrowed the rear passenger's survival space. The rear left door was tucked open. What's worse, base metal ripped on both sides. The floor separated from the sill beam. The rear of the car is weak. Rear-ended by a 1 per tons vehicle, its rear structure nearly collapsed. Structure rating poor. In this test, its overall rating, moderate.